There was this guy and this girl, and they wanted to make a podcast, and they didn't know what to call it, but they sure talked a lot, so they said, let's call it Flappity Flap, Flappity Flap Podcast. Yeah. Chug-a-lug, chug-a-lug. Suddenly we get quiet when the microphone recording goes on.
When the microphone recording goes on, I think I'm still a little too loud. There we go. That's more your matching yours.
That's you all over. Just being loud all the time.
Pretty much. I just go everywhere I go. I'm shouting.
You are. Yeah.
Did I ever tell you when I was in Santa Rosa, when I was commuting to work and school on on my bicycle? I can't speak.
Nope, I'm not gonna do it.
Mm-hmm.
No singing songs, even though my soul cries out for it.
Oh my gosh.
Go ahead.
There was this guy that would always shout at me, bicycle.
Oh.
And he was driving. So he was
Oh, I think you did tell me this
bicycle.
because we were like, okay, maybe he's not mentally.
That he seemed like a mentally handicapped person. Driving from the wheel of a car, shouting at me, bicycle.
Okay.
Bicycle. He was
Maybe
in
he was just a bicycle enthusiast. You know, a bicycle spotter, bike spotter. Like
he was
train
parked
spotter?
too.
Oh, so he might have just been sitting in his parents' car, parked, playing.
I saw, but
playing Drive.
The same guy, shouted at me again while he was driving.
Oh shit!
I think he was pulling out of his driveway.
And did you say eyes on the road?
No, I was just blown away by who they allowed driver's licenses to.
Yeah.
What?
I don't
what
know.
does that
I don't
mean?
know.
What does that
I don't
mean?
know what you can say and what, how dare you try to put people down, hold them back.
It's not inclusive to say that mentally handicapped people shouldn't drive. Mm-hmm. Who are you? Who are you to say mentally handicapped people shouldn't drive?
Yeah.
Is that the kind of comments
we're
going to get?
Exactly. Who are you to say that 90-year-old Alzheimer's woman who has her nightgown on her head or something can't drive?
Whoa. You really painted a picture.
I'm just saying, they have rights. And that supersedes your right to live or walk around unmaimed.
Unmaimed.
Yeah. I was going to say a thing that I just remembered, and then when I remembered that it is kind of not related to what you're saying, it was like awkward because this will segue nicely. Oh, it's completely unrelated because
So what is it?
So what is it? It's because we were joking about you being loud as you are. Not really. I mean, so Katie used to say before we met how reserved you were, and that was very true. Like getting you to kind of open up was a bit like pulling teeth, I was really pushing your buttons a lot.
I don't think it was that hard.
No, but just very different than most other people I've dealt with who are not like cripplingly shy. And so,
ow, I hit myself in the face
because you were trying to get a gnat or something.
A gnat away, yeah.
Yeah. So, that's the joke. I was going somewhere. So then his parents tell me, Brandon, when he was a toddler, would not shut up. Like he would stand in his crib in the middle of the night or whatever and just be babbling.
Yeah, I would talk myself to sleep.
He would babble himself to sleep.
My dad loves telling that story.
I love hearing that story.
He would be in his crib just because he couldn't speak yet.
Right.
He being
me.
He
being you. Yeah.
And I would just go.
Don't feel self-conscious about that because most of us couldn't speak at that age. But.
And then I'd fall asleep to my own
I think that's adorable.
Talking.
And it makes me a little sad for you because as you got older, you felt like you had to withdraw into a protective shell
Well, I mean, you do. You have to. People will tell you to shut up, or you know.
Have people said that to you? You're just talking and
Yeah.
they're like, "Shut up."
Yeah, I'm sure it's happened before.
Yeah.
And that's
That's mean.
Well, sometimes though, sometimes people do need to shut up.
But then you shut up to the extreme. You went to the extreme with that.
No, I'm just an adult now, so kind of comes with the territory.
It's just funny because you're one of the quietest people I know.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm not that quiet.
Even
Come
for
on.
a dude. Well, not with me. I mean, with me, yeah. It's like,
It's
take
like
take
shut
a break.
up already.
No, but I mean, you're very comfortable with me. But out and about,
Mm-hmm.
you're not at all. So it's just funny.
That is funny, I guess.
Funny, peculiar.
Mm-hmm.
I just can't picture you just being a talker, just like not shutting up. That's how I picture myself. That is myself right now. Take a drink of water. That'll shut me up.
You're so weird. It's like the mics get turned on and then just weird Sarah comes out.
I think because at heart I am a ham.
Are you?
Uh-huh.
Hmm.
Get him.
Tickly nose hairs.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I was very much a ham.
I think most kids are hams. I think that's, that's why, like, my parents are like, he used to talk so much. He used to be,
Yeah, but that was when you were like 2 or 1 or
But
something.
just when I was little. I think I probably got quiet when I hit like 4, 5. Because, kindergarten, teachers telling you to shut up.
I don't think a teacher should ever be telling you to shut up. I had a teacher that would shake me. I mean, she'd shake other people, but she never told me to shut up, at least.
I don't know. I think telling you to shut up is not as bad.
They shouldn't not. I mean, they don't ever say shut up, right? You just mean like be quiet, raise your hand before you speak.
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
I don't remember.
Okay. Well, I think I meant like I was a ham probably until I hit puberty. Like I wanted to be an actor.
Oh wow.
I was always hamming it up. I was like I think in the first or second grade, I was like Rudolph in the school play, like the opposite of how I am now. Like, don't look at me. But
don't
I think
look at me.
I think it was the crippling awkwardness of adolescence around the time of maybe family strife.
Yeah.
Parents divorcing and moves and developing.
Changing schools.
Was just like, oh my God, protect me. I'll be silent. No one can judge me. And but I think this is a safe place, and the microphones come on, and I'm like, yeah, let your freak flag fly.
You're always allowed to be a ham around me.
Thanks.
Ham it up.
I think it was funny because you said that, and then you kind of looked off to the side, like.
I had to swallow.
You always look to the side when you swallow?
I was looking straight, actually. I'm looking to the side right now.
No, but your eyes went to the side, like.
Did
you
they?
know how people do when they lie? They look to the left, don't they?
Do they?
To access that. Wait, so you lied when you asked me that question?
I don't know. I don't know. Give me a break.
Yeah. How's your stomach?
Making a lot of sound.
At least the mic's not picking it up.
That's good.
Right?
It might be. I don't know. There's some little blips on there.
That could be my saliva that I never seem to have control over.
No, because it's in mine.
Oh, cool.
Yep.
So, the reason I asked about your stomach is, because what did you eat yesterday? A lot of.
You can just say it. You don't have to like.
Because you're a better
work
storyteller.
Me up to it.
I like your kind of just some of the awkward, not awkward, but just the random, funny, quirky stuff that you come up with.
So I didn't eat like all day yesterday,
which is weird.
I went to Pape Machinery to do my yard work, and then, what? My brain just farted. What was I?
It smells. What would a brain fart smell like? Cooked noodles? Because your brain's like a noodle? What would a brain fart smell like? Don't think about it. Just go.
I don't know. You're the ham. You figure it out.
Ham.
Ham. So anyway,
I think I kind of love doing that, like derailing your train.
yeah,
Sorry.
that's okay. So I was at Pape and just working and came home, worked, just did not eat. I went to the Asia Mart as well and picked up a bag of shrimp chips and just demolished the whole bag.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it doesn't sound like much, but it is like a giant bag full of stinky chips.
It's like eating, what did you compare it to? That your dad?
Pork rinds?
Is it not, but tastier and maybe healthier?
Definitely tastier. I would say
Shrimpier.
healthier as well.
Fishier.
Not good for the environment.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think eating shrimp is good for the ocean.
Well, you did your part yesterday to, put a dent in that remaining population.
How rude.
I did too, though. But my bag was smaller.
That's true.
So,
Also, the plastic.
oh, yeah.
Probably not.
That's hard, though. Everything has plastic. It is hard. And palm oil. So you killed a few
Oh, yeah, there was palm oil in it.
It's hard to avoid that, too. I mean, it's really not if you don't eat, like, packaged snacks. You know? Right? I don't know.
Plastic, yeah, it's kind of everywhere. If you want to drink, bottles of shit.
I feel like if you
a snack, packages of shit, and they rarely are in paper packages.
It's expensive.
There are some in paper packages. Is it really though?
Yeah.
It's just because these
it's anywhere they can shave
corporations want to be, raking in as much as humanly possible. It's like, do something a little bit nice for the environment. Or for your consumers. Maybe lower the amount of sugar by a tiny bit. Fucking companies. Corporations. Fucking corporations.
But how was that entire bag of shrimp chips that you ate?
It was really good.
So he will go like the whole day, which I don't understand because I am the opposite, snacking all the time, having my 3 to 5 meals a day plus snacks.
Well, clearly I was snacking. I was just going through that bag of chips and just like thinking, why am I macking down on these so much? Macking down on them so hard.
I don't know if I know that phrase.
Expression?
Yeah. Macking down? Like mac and cheese? Like macking, like munching? Like
it's like a thing that some people say. I don't know. I don't know if it's accurately used.
Like you?
Yeah, it's just my thing.
You're trying to get it out there? Trying to make it a thing?
No, it's not really, though.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, but it means to consume.
to consume.
To consume something with fervor, with passion, with zeal.
Well, you did that.
I did. They're delicious. I like the sweet ones. They're weird, like sweet shrimpy chips. They're so delicious, and I don't know why. Because it sounds so gross and wrong.
It does.
You want some shrimp? Pour some sugar on them.
Well, it's like in rice crackers, Asian rice crackers, and they have the sweet ones, and I'm like, no. I don't know if they have like peanuts in them or some kind of like
peanuts.
Did I say peanuts? Peanuts. And I just don't like the sweet ones. I want the salty ones. If it's fishy or ricey, it needs to be salty. So that's why I went through your bag and was picking out the salty ones because I didn't want to go all the way downstairs and get my bag of the purely salty ones. So they're pretty freaking good though. Got them at the Asia Mart in Katati, or is it called like we're just gonna do a plug. I don't know if you're in the area.
I don't know. I don't know what it's called. I think it might just be called the Asia Mart.
They have good snacks, but I am already a saltaholic and prone to dehydration, so I probably don't need more salty snacks. But of course, that's my favorite thing in the world. So it was just funny to watch you demolish that bag, and then at 10 o'clock at night be like, now I need dinner.
Oh, yeah.
And then like, why is my stomach bothering me?
Why does my entire body feel bad?
I said, because you just crammed it to capacity and beyond.
Mm-hmm.
And now your organs are pushing up into your ribs to make room. Anyway. So,
Let's switch topics.
Okay.
Let's switch it up.
Yeah, let's not make it all about me. That's you talking. Let's not make it about me and my stomach.
Mm-hmm.
So I started reading The Stand, which is a novel. I don't know what you call these things. It's a book by Stephen King. You probably heard of it. It's a pandemic or an epidemic. I don't really know what the difference is. Basically, it's very appropriate to now, except it might not be good because everyone dies. Like a huge portion of I think it's like 90% of the population. So I'm only like a couple hundred pages in, but my friend Susie said, "Oh, I'm gonna read The Stand right now. I've read it a couple times, but this seems like the perfect time." And I said, "What are you talking about? This seems like the worst time." But I started reading it, and it is fun because in the book, you know that if someone sneezes or coughs or is described as having a runny nose, you're like, "Oh, they're a goner," you know. And it's the beginning.
Wow.
I don't know if it's like the beginning third of the book or quarter of the book that is basically establishing that the whole breakdown of society, all the deaths, you know, the government trying to cover it up because they're the ones who I think engineered it and then let it out. And so the very beginning of the book is a guy who works at this military installation or whatever where the virus gets out. And they have
Umbrella
these...
Corp.
Huh?
It's like a Resident Evil thing, I think.
Oh. It's a very recurring common theme.
Mm-hmm.
But so this guy works there as like a security, or, you know, I don't know if he's actual military or just security for the installation. And they have these protocols that if there's some kind of leak or breach in security or containment, you know, walls are supposed to come down, doors are supposed to shut, and it's supposed to basically quarantine anyone in there so that it, you know, even if they get it, it doesn't go any further.
Yeah.
Well, one of the doors fails and doesn't shut, and he gets like a few extra seconds, and he runs.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
Okay, so that's what I want to talk about because I thought that's a really interesting question. Because obviously, from the perspective of the rest of the population who's not that guy and his family, you're like, what a selfish bastard.
But in his shoes, he should know the responsibility he's taking. And like, if you make a mistake, you know, something goes wrong, you need to take responsibility for it. Otherwise, you're in the wrong fucking line of work.
But I think that people are in other jobs, like maybe like the military, if you sign up, you know, for the military and you think you're just going to be out patrolling or doing security or who knows what in some country, or you're just going to be doing training and living on a base. And you're not in wartime, and maybe and then like we said with like recruiters will tell you, you're not going to see active duty. You're not going to be put in peril.
Yeah.
But then you have to like read, like when you're signing your life away, you know, it's all there, but they will freaking lie to you.
It's a little bit like maybe like suicide. Can I say that?
You can say suicide.
Like, so like, it's a little bit like suicide maybe where 9 times out of 10 people that do it regret it like immediately or like, you know, as they're doing it about to go or after failing doing it, they realize how huge of a mistake it was.
Yeah. Well,
So
especially if
maybe
you've
it's similar...
disfigured yourself, because I've heard about people shooting themselves in the face with a shotgun and making it, and they're permanently disfigured.
Yeah.
And it's horrible. Or
Talk
just
about worsening your life to like the extreme.
But yeah, I think the survival instinct is so strong because that's how our species has made it, and how so many other species do is you're fighting for life. And so it's going against like how many years? I never know how many years.
Well, and you don't know if there's a heaven or a hell, or if there's just nothing. And you're, you know, I think most people want to be alive. They don't want to be in the void.
Yeah.
They don't want to just be gone.
Right.
So, I mean, it makes sense.
Especially, I mean, obviously, if there's a hell, that sucks. And if you're going there, as many people believe suicides go. But
I think if you're fucking up And if it's going to potentially cost or, devastate a continent or the world.
The world.
Yeah.
This is a worldwide
You keep your
epidemic.
stupid ass in that fucking lab and face what you fucking did.
So, they probably told him that. He probably signed papers, but there's definitely, I think, a thing where people go, yeah, I'll sign up because I need a job.
Yeah.
And this is like a small town in like Texas,
I don't think that type of job would be that, though. I don't think they'd put any ding dong in that position. You would have to be qualified.
Yeah.
And know your stuff.
Mm-hmm. Or they don't. I think what probably happened here.
I think the guy was probably just an asshole.
They don't really explain it, but they don't exactly tell you what they're working on. They just train you to go through these safety protocols.
But then why did he run?
But because he heard a blaring alarm, and all the other doors were shutting, and maybe I can't remember if he saw on the video. I don't know, but he knew that the door was supposed to shut. He saw that it stayed open, and he booked it and ran home to his wife and young baby.
What a stupid
young baby.
So that's a situation where he just must not have known.
I think he knew there was a danger. I think.
So then he knew he was endangering his family. And
I don't
everyone.
think he knew that it was a virus. But he knew what he should have known, and
so
I think
I'm learning
he knew,
so much.
Yeah.
I should just shut up and listen.
No, but it's a good. I just thought it was a good kind of hypothetical to pose, because I can't say that whether I knew or not that I would do it differently, because when you go into it, you're like, yeah, sure, I'm gonna do whatever's required of me in this job, because you just need the fucking job.
But it depends on everything you know. If you know that leaving is potentially going to kill everyone.
I'm sure that he knew there's a potential for danger of some kind, that there's a reason for these safety protocols.
So you would not, if you knew that, you would not leave and go to your family. You might call them, say, hey, I fucked up. I need to be quarantined for a minute, and have them put you in a different room or something. I don't know.
Well, I guess if you thought that, so ultimately he gets the virus, so he doesn't necessarily know that he's contaminated, or that,
That would be something a person with even a single brain cell would check before running home to their family.
But everyone who's at that lab, everyone who stays dies practically immediate, because they're
he doesn't
first exposure to this virus.
So he doesn't think that he's sick.
No.
Oh, okay.
Or he doesn't know, he knows it's an option.
Little layers to this that are like, okay.
Well, and I'm revealing it to you bit by bit, but because I kind of want to see where your brain is going. Because honestly, I asked myself, and I thought, even if because I'm sure
Are you psychoanalyzing me right now?
No, it's more like a general human question. Because we're in our little familial bubbles. And we might have lofty, what do you call them? Kind of benevolent. There's a better word. Goals, or, thoughts about how we would act to help mankind. But when it comes down to a survival situation, it's me and my people first, regardless of. So I'm sure that the government officials or people at this lab, scientists, whatever, did not tell this guy the extent of the danger of what they were working on.
Yeah.
And then they didn't have time. So there's a problem.
There's probably a lot of that.
Even if they had told him that, he has a wife and young child, and he just needed to put food on the table. He's got she's like, the baby's like 1 or 2. So he takes off, but he knows they're going to come after him because he's breached the safety protocol.
So did he disinfect or anything before coming home, or did he just?
No, because he knew
he's a fucking idiot.
So he's an idiot, but he's desperate.
Because you would go through the disinfectant process. Otherwise, you might think, oh, I might have the virus on me. There might be.
I don't think he knows there's a virus. That's the thing, is I don't think they go into that.
Whatever killed everybody might be on me.
I'm not sure he even knew that they killed everyone. The fact is, I think all you get in the story, and now keep in mind this book was written in the 90s or even late 80s maybe. I should grab it. Oh, I don't know where it went. So years ago, but basically, you've been trained and hired to follow these protocols. This is your job.
Sorry.
You've breached that. So, and because it's the military, he's like, they're going to be coming after me, or they might be coming after me. I don't know. I don't think he necessarily knows. I don't remember. I don't have great retention, so they might have said, oh yeah, I saw a bunch of bodies. But he's like thinking of his family. Very irresponsible, because then he takes off, and everyone has either been called to respond to this emergency, or they've already been infected. So the gates to the military base are open and unguarded, so he's able to flee with his family outside of this town in Texas, I think it was. Or no, he might have driven across like a couple states. So then he goes and he crashes because he and his family are infected. I mean, you know, the kid dies, the mom, the wife dies, and he then spreads it.
He's still alive. So he's just a living carrier.
So exactly.
Which is actually a thing.
Yeah.
With, you know, certain serious diseases.
So he dies, but he basically dies in the arms of these people. And if you saw the mini-series, which was kind of awful, because I saw it years ago, and even as a kid I recognized it was, you know, or a teenager, I recognized it was awful. But now all those actors are like in my head in these characters, which kind of sucks. I wish I could unremember that series, because I thought it was pretty awful. But so he infects the people at this gas station where he crashes into, and they in turn infect, because it's super high rate of infection.
Yeah.
You know, definitely much more so than COVID, and super high mortality. Like, I think it's people, like when you're reading it, it's essentially people who get it die, and people who don't are just immune for whatever reason, or they might be carriers, but they don't show symptoms and they're not affected. So that's who ends up throughout the story, kind of then, I think, waging this war between good and evil, but they're the survivors. And so it's worldwide. It's super gross, you know. So every time someone sneezes or coughs in the book, you know, like, oh, they're a fucking goner, you know. Yeah. But I thought...
But you sneeze for other reasons and cough.
But it's just it's the author's way of... It's Mr. King's way of telling you they're sick. You know what I mean?
They're gone. They're a goner.
So do you think, like, dig deep here, do you think if you had a job like that, or would you just maybe you wouldn't take that? And it's so far from what you do that it's hard to put yourself in their shoes. But I immediately thought, if I knew and I had a shot where that door was open and I was going to Indiana Jones it under the door, you know, I don't know if I could restrain myself to go find my family and be like, get the fuck out of here.
I think it might depend on the situation completely. You know, and I mean, like, is it a gas form thing? Like,
but if you don't know, let's say if you just don't know and you don't understand, no one is sitting you down.
You should know a little bit about what you're working on, especially if there's a danger. I'm pretty sure they would know.
But you know, the government doesn't tell you shit.
Yeah,
they don't want you, like, selling those secrets to the Russians or whatever.
Well, I think they keep out certain aspects of it, but if there's a safety issue, I think they would tell you. They would say, do not, because they don't want to lose good scientists, you know, and they don't want to just randomly kill people, I don't think.
I think the hope was, or the expectation was, that the security technology wouldn't fail and he wouldn't be faced with that choice. And he would just have no choice, and he'd be stuck in there with the rest of them and die. You know, die of the virus.
I mean, I think it would depend on the situation. Like, and if I did bolt out, I would not go straight home to my family. If I knew that the people in the room died, if I knew that I potentially could have something on my person, no, only an idiot would do that. You're putting your family in immediate danger.
What if, I mean, and it is stupid in a way to have someone working because it could be on your clothes and not have them know that they could potentially spread
He was
viruses.
Working security?
I think it was like more like a security thing.
Oh, well, that makes more sense then.
Yeah. He wasn't a scientist.
Oh, man. So he
but
didn't know what it was. But if you didn't know,
and they just said, here's your training, and they're relying on these steel doors to shut when there's a breach and the alarms are tripped or whatever.
That's a little bit different. because
you didn't know, but yet your training and your job and what you signed on the dotted line was, if this happens, even if the system is faulty, you sit in your chair and you follow the protocol. But you were like, fuck it, this place is gonna blow or whatever. I want to get home to my family.
I think
make
I
sure they're
probably
okay.
would dip out of the room, but stay just outside of it.
Mm.
And then if they, try to quarantine you,
Mm-hmm.
because they can quarantine you right outside of a room.
Mm-hmm.
But I just think going directly home to your family would not be a thing you would do.
Mm-hmm.
You would get yourself cleaned off, get your clothes changed, I
Yeah.
don't know. I mean, it depends on the situation.
Now I feel like I should go back and read the very beginning because maybe he knew. Because they definitely kind of paint him, I think, as a little bit of
an oaf,
not an oaf, but just
a pingaling.
Out for himself and his family. But then you're like, well,
is he really out for himself and his family?
Mm-hmm.
Is he really out for his family?
But I think there's a willful disbelief or disregard for an actual danger. But I feel like that's what's happening with
sickness.
Is you're being told over and over again. But I think if you're not plugged into social media or news constantly, but there's this
sickness.
It's a little.
It is
different though because supposedly they don't have the numbers right, and also I've heard, I haven't really looked into it,
and we're
much
not
of it.
saying according to Trump. We're saying in terms of them counting a death. Is this what you're talking about? Counting a death as
sickness.
Yeah.
When maybe it was actually something else, but if they had
sickness.
Regardless, it was said
by the CDC. I think. I don't remember.
Yeah, there was basically a whiff of if someone,
if anyone
an
dies,
extreme example is if someone was shot and they died and they also tested positive for
sickness.
But I don't think that they would do it like that. It was
sickness.
More like, they had, let's say they had an underlying
liver
condition
or
that
something.
could have killed them at any moment anyway.
Yes, we get
but
that.
They died and they had
sickness.
Yes.
They called it a
sickness
death.
Yes. And also, apparently, there are different strains of
sickness.
One of which is basically the common cold. And they said they can't really differentiate the testing, the outcome of the testing. So you could test positive for it, but it could actually just be from the common cold. I don't know how true that is.
It's so hard to keep on top of all the info.
Well, and who knows what's true and what's not. I mean, it's like there's so much manipulation on either side of just believe us. And there's so much lying.
And the truth is somewhere in between.
Maybe. Or maybe it's something completely different.
We'll probably never know it. The truth is out there. Yeah. So I'm going to have to go through now and edit in all the references of that.
Yeah.
Edit in.
Sickness.
It's a sneakness.
It's a sneakness.
It's a sickness.
That was fun. That was good.
Was it?
Yeah.
So
you think he's a piece of shit and you wouldn't do that? You wouldn't come home to me? What if we had a baby? Would that change things?
I would find a payphone and call you and
They don't have payphones anymore. I think they got rid of them all.
I thought you said it was in the 80s or 90s.
Oh, okay. So you're putting yourself in that time. Yeah. Go ahead. Continue.
Jeez. Or if I had a cell phone on me.
Okay.
One of those giant 80s or 90s brick cell phones, I would call you.
Okay.
And then I would get a brain tumor from that short 30-second call.
Would you? Oh, because they're humongous. That's funny.
Yeah. Is it?
No.
Brain tumors are funny.
No. Just because we didn't have a big cell phone like that, but my dad had a set of walkie-talkies. And they were like that huge freaking, bricks, basically.
Yeah.
With cutout for, speakers. But they were so fun to play with. And you just push the button and they had huge antennas, but they were freaking
a foot
this
tall.
Big. Yeah, a foot tall. Thank you for painting a picture for the listeners. That was fun though. Good times living in the 80s.
Yeah, so I would have called. I think going and visiting.
Yeah.
It would be such a stupid move.
Yeah.
And also, you're going to just spread it everywhere? Staying in the facility would be the smartest thing to do.
I think
Even
he
if
just
they
doesn't
decide
believe that
we're going to shoot you,
Yeah.
which I don't think they would do. They would say, stay in that fucking room. We're going to close you in here and we're going to deal with you.
Mhm.
And perfect. Okay. If you got out of the room, I think that would be fine. And then they can test you to make sure you're safe. They can bring a couple guys in with a couple hazmat suits and check to make sure you're safe. And they would probably quarantine you for like weeks or whatever.
Mm.
You know, they would hose you down, change your clothes, do the normal stuff they do in those type of situations.
Okay, so let's say you did know
The
that
guy
it
was
was
just
a
a
virus.
dumbass.
And let's say
in
you
this
did know that it
hypothetical-
was super high mortality rate or whatever deadly level. Would that change things? Because if you know you're gonna die anyway, I mean, then
If I knew I was gonna
you-
die, I would just sit
you
in the
wouldn't-
room.
that's so sad.
Well, you know
I
you're
know.
gonna die, and that's less chance of spreading it everywhere.
So your selfishness doesn't kick in then.
I would be selfish enough to leave the room,
Yeah.
but if I knew I was gonna die, just fucking sit there. Just take your lumps. You're gonna die. Who cares?
Yeah.
You know, if you know you're gonna die and you run out, all you're doing is putting everyone else at risk.
Hmm.
Because I mean, what's it gonna do? What's running outside going to do?
Hmm.
It's not going
I don't
to
know.
save
You get to see your family again, and I think that
What you could do is
becomes
pick up
your
a
comfort.
phone,
yeah.
because I'm sure there's a phone in the lab.
Mm.
Pick up a phone and call your family.
hmm
You know, leave a message. Leave a nice message for them if you can. And hold the gargling till you hang up, till after you hang up.
Is this like your snot gargling because you're infected, or what gargling?
Whatever, you know, your
Okay.
death.
Your death rattle?
Your death
Hold your
rattle.
death rattle until you're off the phone.
Exactly.
Freaking prick. You
Mhm.
selfish prick. But what if you
Okay.
thought, don't you think there's a survival instinct or a denial which might be part of the survival instinct, which says, I might be immune, I might be the exception? I feel like that's
Well,
the thing
that's-
that kicks in with people.
But you're saying
Kind of like in these zombie movies. I might be immune, so I'm
But-
not going to tell anyone.
But you were saying you know you're gonna die. So if you know for
Okay,
a fact
but now I'm
that
changing
you're
it
gonna
again.
die,
I'm changing it on you. I was
Okay.
changing the rules.
so if I don't know I'm gonna die, I would step out of the room.
But
And
you
I-
wouldn't run
But I
home.
would sit at the closed door.
Mm-hmm. But you're very reasonable, and you're very responsible, and you're very like
Why would you want to
rational.
spread a fucking disease
you're
around?
very rational about everything you do. Because like I'll be picking up a thing, or my mom will, and I see where I get it, and you'll be like, whoa, stop, just stop.
Just stop what
And
you're
then
doing.
you like take the knife from me and you turn it the other way around so that I'm not,
holding the blade.
running with it. Or yeah. I mean, but like obviously that's not a real thing that happened because I'm not that stupid. But
Yeah,
where
you
you just-
don't do that.
you're just I don't know. You think everything through, even though it seems very quick, and you're like, whoa, don't do it that way. That's dangerous. Or don't do that. You're contaminating that thing. And I'm like, oh, I never thought about it like that.
Well, just the outcome, you know.
I don't think about that.
Really.
Sometimes. I know you're just finding this out. I should have not said anything. You haven't picked up on that? I clearly don't think through the outcome like you do.
You gotta be careful. Well, and especially if you're in a job like that where the risk
Ow.
is super high.
I need
And
a
you could-
foam thing under my head thing. Oh, there
There is
is
a
one.
foam
I need
thing.
I need a second one.
You need a plate-shaped foam
Yeah.
thing.
I'll just use my thumb. Go ahead.
Why don't they make headphone tops like that?
I don't know.
Like a big plate thing that sits on the whole top of your head. That way you don't get a stripe, a dent.
Yeah. Uh-huh. I'm sorry I interrupted you.
That's fine. But if you know your job is high risk to the public, you should pay attention
Yeah.
to all of that stuff.
I mean, to be fair, it's a horror novel, so like just like the zombie
But that
stuff,
kind of stuff
you
exists.
need people to do stupid stuff so you can cause it. You can have the story escalate and
That
the
kind of
danger.
stuff exists. I mean, you
Yeah.
you know that our government and other governments have to be working on like chemical, biological warfare shit.
Mm-hmm.
And you kind of have a huge responsibility
Yeah.
to not kill everyone.
Well, so my thing is, I'm thinking if you were responsible and you just said, I'm going to step out of this room because I don't want to be locked in this death chamber.
But I would sit against the door.
But I'm, especially after reading 200 pages into the book and knowing that
maybe
how the
tuck my
government
nose
is,
into my shirt like someone farted. So
that'll save you.
No, save other people.
Oh.
So you're not
Oh,
like,
you see, you're such a good person.
I need help. Fucking, I could see that happening in like a horror film.
Yeah.
Somebody runs out of the room and they're just mouth breathing in everyone's face.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking.
Yeah.
They always make everybody.
Well, that's basically what this guy does when he gets to this gas station in, I keep wanting to say Arlen, but it's not King of the Hill, but it's like Arnett or something in Texas. And he gets this gas station, and I think he basically dies in their arms, in one of the guy's arms.
Breathing
and he's like
in his
coughing
face.
in his face.
Fucking so.
But he's so
pisses
far
me off.
gone. But he's so far gone that he doesn't even know what he's doing. I mean, you get to the point where they're so feverish and they're like hallucinating and
But
it's like
he could
yeah.
have. He could have avoided all of that.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Getting a little loud over there.
Oh.
He could have dealt with it better.
Yeah.
You know, no car crash, no breathing and coughing in citizens' faces.
What I was gonna say is it's a little warm in here. That I let me stall while I
Think?
go through the Rolodex.
Why don't you
of
just
my
cut this
brain.
part?
Because this is entertainment. Trust me.
I don't think
Trust me.
I don't think.
Trust me.
I don't think this is entertainment.
No, what? Oh, okay. So in the book, the U.S. has signed the Geneva Convention, where they're not gonna work on biological weapons or shit like that. So they're clearly doing it in secret, so they don't at all costs. They don't want it to get out. They're gonna fucking machine gun you.
I bet all governments
So you do the right thing.
are doing that.
Probably. You do the
At
right
least the
thing.
ones that can afford it.
Probably not like Denmark and Sweden and stuff because they're so progressive. But
Do they have? I almost asked, do they have a military? They probably do.
well, okay, not Switzerland,
but they wear
right?
clogs. I'm
Oh
just
yeah, the
kidding.
Swiss do because they have Swiss Army knives.
I'm just kidding. That's a good one.
You didn't laugh. You didn't even chuckle. You didn't even smirk. Don't lie to me. I hate that when your ear thing rubs against a thing and it's like super loud.
Your headphones?
Uh-huh.
When your headphones bump against
Yeah,
something?
but it was just one side is what I was trying to say.
Oh.
So anyway, I feel like you do the responsible thing and you step outside that room and you're like, but I'm going to stay here, military guys, because I was safe and I followed protocol. And then they're like, and they kill you because they don't want you talking to the press.
Well, then it's up to them.
To kill you?
And I think there might be a way for them to deal with it. You know, a different way other than just gunning you down right there.
Okay.
You know, I'm sure there are things that they do that are like that. Like an NDA, except more severe.
Mm-hmm.
If you break this, we're going to
We shoot you.
We're going to shoot you, yeah. We're going to catapult you into a wall.
Okay, so I don't know why that reminds me of another Stephen King story. I think it's called The Walk. Are you done with this?
No.
Okay.
Keep
You look a
going.
little. So it's basically like
My
a
eyes
race.
glazing over a little bit.
You kind of like went like, it's basically like
keep going.
a
Oh,
race
this is
you
great.
enter.
Oh.
It's like more of a short story or a novella, I think, I think it's a short story, and you sign up for it because I think the winner like wins $1 million or gets some kind of thing. Maybe it's more. $1 million was more back in the 80s. But if you slow down beyond a certain pace or you stop, and there's some other provisos, they shoot you. But you enter it knowing, and you're just walking like miles and miles, I think. And I mean, there's people watching, fans cheering you on, watching your progress.
If you slow down.
And some people just become exhausted and they just sit down in the road and stop, and then they like shoot him. There's he comes up with some weird stuff, but
That sounds really shitty.
yeah. So I take it you wouldn't sign up for that?
I mean, what kind of a person would sign up to be the shooter?
Maybe they are getting paid $1 million. I don't know.
That's,
I don't think it would be legal, but
It's just a story. I
Yeah.
get it. I don't think I would do it.
yeah, because I
That's
mean,
a lot of risk.
if you got a stitch or anything, if you got a cramp,
Or if you have a stroke, or if you have some other
Yeah.
normal thing that happens,
Yeah.
and it's like, we're not going to give you medical assistance. We're going to put a bullet in your
Yeah.
head. Like,
keep moving or
Uh-huh.
you get shot.
but I broke my leg, you
Yeah.
know. But I tripped and but I twisted my ankle, which
Yeah.
is something that can totally happen.
Yeah,
It's too much risk.
yeah. Or you just get like a debilitating blister.
I think I would be able to power through a
Oh,
blister.
I don't think I could. I can't
oh,
power
well, then
through
you
a paper
definitely
cut.
shouldn't sign up for that.
Yeah, I mean, clearly it would like never happen, but that story was so kind of, I think, disturbing to me as a young person that
Mhm.
I have remembered it forever after.
It's pretty disturbing.
Mm-hmm.
It's a messed up thing to think about.
Mm-hmm. But then again, is it any worse than the Hunger Games, which is sending children into battle to basically kill each other
No, I would say it's
on par?
definitely not as bad
Okay.
because you're signing up for it, right?
Yeah. Right.
The kids don't
That's
sign
true,
up
you have
for
a
the Hunger
choice. I
Games.
think, yeah.
They're kind of forced into it.
True. Lottery system.
Mhm.
So enough about
Just a little warm
Stephen
up here.
King, the master of horror or whatever. What?
My stomach was like, blang. I
Oh,
was like,
here.
blang. Like, what the fuck? What is
weird.
happening?
He's like, I'm still digesting. Nice. Still digesting these prawn crackers, you putz.
Mm-hmm.
Do you need some more apple?
No.
Okay.
That might be why my stomach's going crazy.
Oh.
Because the apple.
Mm-hmm.
I think to remedy it, I should eat more prawn crackers.
Totally. Stay away from my prawn crackers.
I'm not going to eat yours.
You can. I ate some of your savory ones. So.
I know you did. I noticed that.
Your face was like, I know you did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's warm up here.
It is
I
warm
don't.
up
I think
here.
I don't like the pop filter.
Because it's in your face?
It's like right in my face.
Yeah.
And it's hard to look at you because you got like.
Yeah. I know.
It's just
This is
covering your
what
face.
I said, because the thing with the closet that I didn't like is that we couldn't face each other. But now we're facing each other, but there's this big circular thing in like covering my mouth. So I'm like Wilson, right?
It's a little bit Wilson-y. What does he say?
But
Heidi
better
ho there,
looking,
neighbor.
right?
Of
Yeah.
course.
Thank you. You know how to say all the right things. Yeah.
You're so weird.
I know. We could talk about the Foley work. I think
Oh yeah.
you're really enjoying that.
Foley. It's
A little bit of background.
It's a guy's name. The guy that invented doing sound effects for movies and cartoons and junk.
It's also a urinary catheter for
Is it
old
really?
people who are in skilled nursing homes and can't pee on their own.
Is it really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so probably a good idea to not do a hashtag Foley.
I'm gonna do that now. Thank you for clinching that for me.
You're welcome.
Too close when you were giggling.
So,
So Foley.
yeah, Foley. So, let's see. What did we do? You did some voice acting, some screeches and
Wait, did
yells.
you actually explain what it was? So you go in after the fact and
Yeah,
you
I said
add
it wa-
sounds. Did you?
I said it was.
I'm sorry, I
I
was
mean, said
focused
what
in
it
my
was.
head on the urinary catheter and like the grossness of that.
Yeah, I explained it.
Okay.
It's sound effects.
All right.
For
Yeah.
made in post for
Mhm.
movies and TV and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
cartoons.
Mm-hmm. So like when you have a horse running, you go in after the fact and you clank a couple coconuts together.
Clank.
Clop.
I think clank is an onomatopoeic word for metal.
Your mom's an onomatopoeic weird.
Come again?
I'm gonna cut that and redo it, and
Don't.
it'll be super. And I'm gonna do like a zing effect right after I say your mom's an onomatopoeic.
Wait, try again. You can do it. I believe in you.
Your mom's an onomatopoeic. How do you say it? Onomatopoeic
you
word
go.
for what? Something.
For metal going clank or something.
Uh-huh. Zing.
Metal goes clank.
And then the sound of you weeping because I cut you down.
So anyway, back to the topic at hand.
That's a hard word.
Onomatopoeic.
Onomatopoeic or onomatopoeic?
Onomatopoeic, I think.
Onomatopoeic. Okay.
Something like that.
Okay. Anyway, sorry. I've exhausted myself.
That's okay. So, we did the yelling. I had to do a screech sound, which I couldn't do.
Can we talk at all about the two characters? It's just a character
Yeah,
attacking
yeah.
another character.
So there's
which
like
we
a
won't go into detail
little
about,
elf
but-
type
Oh, we
character,
can't go
a
into
little
detail.
a
Okay.
little female elf type character, and big rat type character.
And of course, the
and-
rat is evil.
Yes. And she's jumping down and stabbing him in the ribs.
Hmm.
And so I brought in a box of dirt. I brought in some leaves and a
Mhm.
banana to stab.
He was stabbing a
I
banana.
stabbed a banana,
You nanner stabber.
and I'm going to layer.
Which we're going to use for banana bread later. So,
Could do.
oh, you're like attached to that banana. You're like,
What?
'cause you're like, could do.
I'm attached to that banana?
Like, you don't want to give it up for banana bread now.
Well, I'm not going to eat it.
Well, what else would we do with it then? Stab it some more?
Maybe, if
Okay.
I need more sounds.
All right, fair enough.
My stomach is really going crazy.
Okay, well, we can go eat in a second.
I don't know if that's what it is.
Oh, you need
No,
to
I
go use a tank topper?
Huh?
You need to go do a poopy on the doopy?
I'm pretty sure you shouldn't poop in
Don't
a tank
poop
topper.
in the tank topper.
That would be some acrobatic moves there.
I don't know how.
I could handstand on the toilet,
Do you know how to do a handstand?
rest my butt on the tank topper. Sorry.
Horrible. So we're not doing that.
No,
But anyway, if we
No,
need to break,
I don't think that's.
Okay.
I think my stomach's just going crazy from those chips, probably from last
crazy.
night.
it was a lot. Okay. So yeah, so then you were doing a sound on like a rock that was like bare feet on a rock.
Mhm.
That was, I think that
She's barefoot, so I was slapping a rock.
even stabbing the banana as we listened to it after the fact sounded a little bit like a stabby in the flesh sound. Not that I've heard that, but
Mhm.
from movies. And then we both got to do the voice work. That was fun. That was really my only contribution.
I did a terrible
And it was
job on the
iffy
rat
at that.
voice, but I think I'll be
it's
able
hard.
to mod it.
And I'm forgetting that the sounds that are kind of maybe easy for me to make that are a little higher, you can't make those without hurting your throat.
Well, and I just don't have a lot of range
Yeah.
with my throat, with my
Mhm.
voice.
Mhm.
But yeah, it was fun.
It was fun. It felt like professional. Like we were actually, because we've done one other one for a friend.
But that
this
wasn't
time,
Foley, that was just voice.
right. Oh, okay. I thought it was just any.
Oh yeah, and I used my slacks to
Oh, yeah. that was cool.
make like a cloak
I like that. I think that worked.
fluttering kind of sound.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah, as she jumps down.
Mhm.
I think that worked. I think that was a good call.
I think all of it layered together is going to sound really good.
Yeah.
And like stabbing the banana layered with like a little bit of a knife shrink kind of
Mhm,
sound
mhm.
will be perfect.
I think that'll be. I think you'll have a lot of fun with that.
Yeah.
And also it felt a little bit. Oh, Jesus. Like when you watch voice actors do that stuff and they're watching the video in front of them, the footage or the animation in front of them as they do it. It was like that. So it added that level of feeling like it was bona fide
Mhm.
because we were watching the little video clip loop as we like tried the different variations. That was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope it works because when I'm always excited to do it, and then when it actually comes to the time, I get like nervous and a little bit self-conscious, and I'm like, actually, I don't know what that would actually sound like in real life.
I feel like that's normal. My
Um,
stomach's just going off. I'm making
oh.
sure my stomach's
Oh,
not getting
okay.
picked up on
I
the
thought
mic.
I was maybe being too loud, or like I can't be as loud as I would probably be in real life because it's gonna clip. I am so spitty. Oh no.
Spitty Warben Jaegerman Jensen.
I love that.
Got a special place in my brain for that
You
for all
really do.
eternity.
It's like wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube man.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Did I get it?
Yeah, I think you
Or
did.
what's
Yeah.
the other one that is not nearly as hard, but I always misremember it?
Bo bye bo biggie bye
Shiba-
bye bo.
Shina Ibu. Shina Ibu or Shiba Inu?
There
Fuck.
you go.
Fuck!
Shiba
Every
Inu?
time. Shiba Inu, Shiba Inu, Shiba Inu. Inu.
Mhm.
But I want to say Shina Ibu. Not Sheena Easton. Shiba Inu?
Mhm.
Which is basically what Doge is, right? Or Doge or whatever his name.
Doge?
What was his name? Doge?
I think Doge is a Shiba Inu. Inu just means dog.
Dog.
I don't
Oh.
know what Sheba is. Maybe it's a place.
Queen of Sheba. Oh, different spelling anyway. Anyway, that's what our day's been consistent of. I need a shower. I'm a stanky girl.
Oh, okay.
Couple
You
days
didn't
of,
have to announce
couple
that.
days of grime. Not that I've been like working hard.
I don't know if our viewers want to know that.
Viewers.
Listeners, damn it. You guys are listening, not viewing. My
Uh-huh.
stomach.
It
What the
is.
frick?
We need to feed that bad boy.
Probably.
You had to think about it though. Were you thinking about more prawn crackers?
No.
No. No.
No.
No. Is what they say in French.
I'm excited though.
Yeah.
I'm excited to put all that together.
I hope it leads to more Foley work
You
and
know,
voice work for me. I would love to be. Actually, I don't know if I'd love to be. It depends. If I had to do voice work like SpongeBob, or who are some of the like difficult ones? Like even Hank Azaria when he talks about doing Mo and how it kind of destroys his
yeah.
voice. Like
if you only had to do a
guess if you
little bit
got
of
paid
it,
$1
and
million an episode, or I don't know. He probably doesn't get paid $1 million, but if you got paid what they get paid, then fuck it, I'll do it. I'll risk my voice.
if you can
My
live comfortably off of it,
voice. Mhm.
you know,
Mhm.
yeah.
Oh hell yeah. So let's get this going.
Let's, if it does well, we could, he might want us to do all of it for the animation.
Mm-hmm. That would be fun. I
Yeah.
don't know that I have like I was
And he's
trying
going to be making a game,
Yeah.
so he might end up wanting us to do that too, if we do a good job at it.
to. Mm-hmm.
So we'll see.
I think when I was younger, I was self-conscious because I thought I had like a low voice for a girl.
Hmm.
What do you think? And now
don't
I
think
know
so.
that some low female voices can be really sexy, but I like when I saw no
Hey, baby.
like Kathleen Turner. I mean, hers is like way bad now. I don't know if she was a smoker or what, or to me more kind of scratchy. At least like when she was at her peak, like it was like a thing. It was like sexy, but
I think you have a good middle of the road level voice.
But
'Cause
when I
high
saw
pitch-
that little elf, I was like, I feel like my voice should be higher.
well, I can pitch it. I can change the
Yeah,
pitch.
I don't know. I
and
just for a minute wished I had a higher, cute voice.
just for that, just for that recording.
Yeah, yeah. Just ha ha ha.
Yeah.
Take that.
I think it'll be fine.
Okay.
Change the pitching.
Yeah. I
You
guess
know,
I could
mess
work
with
on it.
some
I
things
could practice
if you
you
want
know.
to.
if you wanted a higher voice, like Japanese girls. Moshi moshi. I don't know what are some Japanese phrases
That's
they
not
say.
very PC. You're not being very PC
But you
over here.
said you told me the other day when we were alone and unrecorded.
When?
That's a Japanese thing. No, that it's like a kind of
Oh,
a.
it is kind of a thing of like,
That's what I mean.
yeah, Japanese women, girls
Dressed as schoolgirls.
they think that it's cute to have a high pitched voice.
Well, and clearly a lot of men or women agree with that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I really put any importance on voice other than just like if it's noticeably really low or noticeably really high.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm just kind of maybe a little bit off put.
Like as long as
But I
my
mean,
voice is slightly higher than yours, you're cool.
I don't know if I really care.
Excuse me.
I don't know if I care.
Okay. Yeah, you're not really picky or superficial like that.
Judgy?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I like that about you. That is one of your best qualities.
Thanks.
That and your huge heart. And you got a nice dong.
Oh God.
Do you want me to cut that? It is nice though.
Thanks. Let's move on to something else.
Like what?
The bee trough. I just looked outside and yeah, I got a plant and I water it and it's got a little plate underneath it
Uh-huh.
that's attached to it
Uh-huh.
that catches the water so it doesn't pour out all over the place. And the bees love it. There was a line of 7 bees just drinking up. It's so cool.
It's pretty weird. I think
Honeybees, not stupid
Yeah.
hornets. I will kill.
real bees. Yeah.
I hate hornets
Yeah.
so fucking much.
Well, I think it's pretty cool, but interesting how I think they use whether it's their
Proboscis?
coordination,
Oh,
little internal compass or magnetism of the earth, or however they navigate,
Mm-hmm.
because then they are like fixed on that now as like their permanent little watering hole.
Yeah.
Because then we moved it to try to give it more sun, and they were all in a tizzy, like going to that same spot. I mean, we're like, it's right there. It's
Not
a big
recognizing
green
it?
pot. I don't even know if bees see color, but it's a big pot. It's right there, closer to you now, closer in your flight path. But they kept going to the spot, which is on top of this little fridge that's outside on the deck, and they were like buzzing around, like, duh, where'd it go? Where'd
Yeah.
it go?
They
And then so
might-
we felt bad and moved it back.
I'm wondering if they do like sort of coordinates like in their brain
Yeah.
for
Lock those in.
location from the hive.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they have it like locked in,
Probably.
sort of like how dung beetles will like get up onto their poo ball and that they like look at the sky or something. I don't know,
Mhm.
and that's how they tell where to roll their poo ball.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe bees are the same way because yeah, the pot was right there. Like basically 3 feet away.
Mm-hmm.
That was my phone dying.
Oh.
Doo-doo-doo.
I love that noise.
I hate it.
Oh.
Because
Because you hear it all the time. And you're like, I just charged you to 100%.
Uh-huh. It's only been 2 hours.
Mhm.
Boop, boop, boop.
And I haven't used it at all.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's pretty cute. It's pretty. I posted a picture on Instagram. What am I? What are we at? Flappity Flap Pod or something?
I'm gonna plug my
God
phone in
damn
real
it.
quick.
I need to get better at this social media shite.
At
Oh, knee
Flappity
clack.
Flap Pod.
Yeah, but that's on Twitter. This
Oh,
was on
sorry.
Instagram. I think it's the same.
Gotta plug in my stupid
Um,
phone.
What the
Plug
hell?
in
Where's my
stupid
post? Where's my
phone.
post, you bitches? Oh, it's called Flappity Flap on
My
Instagram.
foot.
Lord.
Picture of my foot.
You
In
got
the-
a nice foot.
Thanks.
And then on Facebook, on my individual Facebook. Oh no, sorry, I got confused. I posted the bee picture on Flappity Flap Instagram and my Facebook of little bee butts drinking out of their little plant trough.
Mm-hmm.
The fuck? Why isn't it showing you fucking?
It's pretty cute.
Oh, I need to post it on my
Honeybees are
Flappity Flap
super
page.
cute.
Mm-hmm.
Just getting up on the little trough and
Mm-hmm.
drinking away. But it's kind of scary because like you go over to water the plant or you move it at all and they just start buzzing around and kind of buzzing you. And I've never been stung by a bee, so I don't know if I'm going to puff up and die if I get stung by one.
How can you? Because no, I guess I have been stung by a bee like twice in my life.
I've
and I
never been stung
survived.
by a bee or a hornet.
So how do you like test that?
I don't know. And I've just get stung eventually and hope to not puff up and die.
You keep saying that.
I don't
It
know if
just
you
is
would
very-
puff up and die. I would probably just puff up. As long as I wasn't stung like on my tongue or something.
Yeah. My grandma got stung when they lived in San Jose area, and she didn't know she was allergic, and she was like going into anaphylactic shock, and I guess they were able to just call the paramedics quick enough because I'm pretty sure they didn't know until that time
Holy
that she
shit.
was allergic.
That's
Maybe
scary.
they did. Maybe they had an EpiPen, but I think that was the first time, and she was an adult. And then we were in Mexico walking around when it was Day of the Dead. They had all these, I said crystal skulls, sugar skulls, just out in the market, and there's just bees everywhere trying to get the sugar.
And they
she's
were
just,
hornets,
She's just
right?
walking around.
Or
No,
were they honeybees?
I think they were bees.
Oh, weird.
And she was just walking around. You know, they might have, I didn't know as much about bees because we did beekeeping for like a hot minute. And I learned a lot more about how to, tell the difference,
differentiate.
which is not that hard once you know. But I think that there were a fair amount of bees. Anyway, she's walking around without an EpiPen. We're like, what are you doing?
Weird.
I feel like you should just bring an EpiPen with you everywhere.
It might be smart for everyone to have an EpiPen
Yeah.
on them just in case.
Yeah.
Like, I think John does.
I don't know.
E-Man and John.
Yeah. But they work in healthcare. So,
Yeah.
like, can you just
So
get
he
one
can-
if you don't have a prescription and you don't know? Like, I don't know
I'm
that they
pretty
just
sure you
hand them
can-
out.
I'm pretty sure you can buy
Yeah,
one.
that would be wise. That would definitely be wise. But
It'd
in
be
this day and
smart for
age,
us
you
to
give
have
someone
one,
a
yeah.
shot. I mean, it's a shot.
I don't know
You
how
give
to
someone
use
a
it.
shot and then something happens to them and they die and they sue you. So I'm not going to do that.
Huh.
It's like, You try to save someone who's drowning, and then you're unsuccessful, and then their family
The family
sues you
sues
because yeah,
because you failed or you made things worse or
you
something.
potentially made things worse. You potentially contributed. Yeah, that's the world
a
we live
scary
in.
thought.
Either that or that's the country or state we live in. Yeah. So it just makes me.
But I feel like it's more important to try to save a life than it is to potentially be sued.
It is, but I'd always be ready because now, just because what I do for work is like it's constantly on my mind. Dog bite issues, just anything, liability in your home. I would never own a swimming pool.
Mm-hmm.
I'm nervous about a hot tub.
Parking lots being
yeah.
dangerous.
Don't walk up those stairs. You might trip. Yeah. That's the world we live in.
But to circle back, yeah, it would be smart for us to get an EpiPen and learn how to use it
Mm-hmm.
just in case.
Mm-hmm.
Also, a fire extinguisher probably would be smart.
We have at least one here.
Do we?
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we were like knocking it over. I think it's on top of the piano right now.
Oh,
Yeah. I don't know how to
just
use it,
in
but I
case
think
the
they're pretty.
piano catches on fire.
Yeah, but there's just enough for the piano. Like there's only like this much left. I don't know how fire extinguishers work. Sorry.
For what?
I don't know. Being stupid.
You're not stupid.
Temporarily stupid. I think I need to eat something real.
Okay.
I mean more than cheese and crackers and a slice of apple.
Okay.
How are you feeling? You ready to wrap it up?
I'm feeling good.
Okay.
Whatever.
I think we need to get better at this. The wrapping things up. I don't know how to do that. So I'm gonna put that.
That's
on
all
you
for
now.
this episode.
A little more of a winding down. I don't know. How do
That's
people
all
do
for
this?
this episode.
Not like that. Not like that winding down. You weirdo. I'm just kidding. There's a lot of singing or barking going on out there, and I'm getting sick of it.
Why?
I don't know. I don't really care. All right, kids.
Have a good night or day or morning.
Whenever. Have a good life. See ya.
Have a good life, but
But don't let it end tonight.
What?
I don't know. I don't know. I was trying to say, like, it's not ending. That's not why we're saying have a good life.
Or yeah,
Or we're not ending
Yeah, we aren't gonna
off ourselves.
Oh my gosh,
We're
you're
not
going
going
to some
to.
dark places.
We'll see you next week.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah,
That's a
pretty
good way to
simple.
end it. No death involved. How do we do an ending of would you call this a show?
Yeah, a podcast, a show.
How would
yeah.
you do the ending of the podcast? Just proceeds to involve death.
Don't die. Bye.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you all for watching.
They're not watching.
Thank you all for listening.